After leaving the photo booth, Cyan realized her glasses were gone and wrongly suspected Yun Hup. She then told Yun Hup she was going to the school that night, which immediately made Yun Hup fear the worst. Yun Hup rushed to the school to help Cyan. Cyan, on the other hand, had already arrived on the rooftop and confronted Mr. Sun Jin. He begged her to drop the case and promised to do anything for her. But Cyan, fueled by her rage at the teachers who had allowed her to be bullied, refused. Mr. Sun Jin then received a message from his wife revealing she had the incriminating photo. He snapped, pushing Cyan to the edge of the rooftop. As Yun Hup arrived at the school, she saw a horrifying sight: Cyan falling from the rooftop, landing right in front of her. The S line on Cyan's head was still there, a sign she was miraculously still alive. Cyan was rushed to the hospital for urgent treatment. Gawok arrived and found Yun Hup waiting outside the operating room. Yun Hup explained that Cyan had told her she was going to the school, and that she had arrived just in time to see her fall. She was certain it wasn't a suicide attempt. The news of the incident caused chaos at the school. In the commotion, a staff member wearing glasses accidentally dropped her belongings. The kind music teacher, Mr. Park, helped her pick them up. The school's English teacher, Mr. Kim, was also grappling with a personal crisis. His wedding had been called off, and he was moving to Canada. He decided to stay with his sister until he left. Yun Hup, shocked and devastated by Cyan's fall, was determined to find answers. Convinced it wasn't a suicide, she went to the rooftop to look for clues. She met another student, Hyung Jin, who also suspected Hai Young was involved since the bully had been absent from school. Downstairs, Yun Hup saw a student, Jun Seon, wearing a pair of glasses. Yun Hup took them and put them on, hoping they were Cyan's. In the teacher's office, Mr. Kim found a pair of glasses on his desk. He put them on, and his world changed. He saw the red S lines. He looked at Gawok, who had just arrived, and saw him covered in hundreds of lines. Overwhelmed, he ripped the glasses off. Gawok had come to find out what happened to his niece. Gujin offered her condolences, assuming it was a suicide. But Gawok was firm, it wasn't confirmed. He asked about the student who had been bullying Cyan, and Gujin said Hai Young was also absent. Gawok then asked about a male student he'd seen in a photo he found in Cyan's handbag. The student confessed he wasn't serious about Cyan and had only been interested because of her sudden transformation. He also recalled Cyan seeming anxious and missing something on their last date. Gawok reviewed CCTV footage and saw Hai Young taking Cyan's handbag and then wearing the glasses, before disappearing into a dark alley. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim, now understanding the S lines, saw that his sister's husband, Byung Cheol, was cheating on her. When Byung Cheol tactlessly brought up Mr. Kim's canceled wedding, Mr. Kim revealed his girlfriend had cheated on him. This shocked his sister. Later, Mr. Kim saw a red line on Byung Cheol, connected to someone on the 4th floor of their building. He followed Byung Cheol outside and back inside. Noticing Byung Cheol accidentally pressed the 4th floor button. When they reached the floor, Byung Cheol stopped him from getting off. Gawok, met with harsh treatment from his superior, refused to stop investigating Cyan's case despite a lack of breakthroughs. The next day, Mr. Kim found a misaddressed package for the 4th floor and, wanting to find out who Byung Cheol was cheating with, decided to deliver it. He backed down at the door, but managed to see the name on the mail, Sharon. Later, Mr. Kim discovered Byung Cheol had lied about working and now suspected him more than ever. His sister, however, seemed unbothered, mistakenly believing Mr. Kim's wedding was canceled because their parents were gone. Mr. Kim corrected her, explaining it was due to cheating, which brought up painful memories of their father's own infidelity. The incriminating photo of Hai Young and Mr. Sun Jin finally leaked, sending shockwaves through the school. Mr. Sun Jin was found dead in his car, a victim of an apparent suicide. Gawok, however, found the circumstances of his death strange and didn't believe the suicide theory. Still determined to find answers for his niece, Gawok asked Yun Hup why Cyan went to school that night. Yun Hup, in turn, asked about the glasses. Upon hearing this, Gawok asked what she knew, but she refused to say anything until he found them. Mr. Kim, driven by suspicion, followed Byung Cheol and saw him with Charon at a fancy hotel, giving her an expensive necklace. He called Byung Cheol, who lied about his whereabouts. Mr. Kim decided to confront him directly. He threatened to tell his sister and Charon about the affair, but Byung Cheol begged him to wait. The next day, Mr. Kim left for Canada, and when his sister told him Byung Cheol hadn't called, he knew the confrontation remained a secret. At the airport, Mr. Kim saw a shocking post from Charon on social media. She was pregnant. He immediately rushed back to his sister's apartment, where he found his sister hitting Charon's car. Byung Cheol returned and, to Mr. Kim's shock, hugged Charon in front of his sister. Mr. Kim, enraged, attacked Byung Cheol, but his sister stopped him. She then dropped a bombshell. Charon was Byung Cheol's real wife. His sister was the mistress. Gawuk, now aware of Yoon Hup's secret, asked for an explanation. She told him that the S-lines represent sexual connections, and that she had been able to see them since birth. Gawuk couldn't fully believe such a fantastical claim, but couldn't ignore it either, given the string of strange cases. The next day at school, Mayong, the staff member who wore glasses, was called into the dean's office for a mistake. She, too, saw the S-lines and noticed the dean had none. She then returned to her desk and began to play with a stapler, a sign that she understood their meaning. During lunch, Mayong proudly declared that she wanted to be an actress and had once been scouted by a talent seeker. Later, a mysterious woman with vibrant pink hair was seen walking past a hotel. Gawuk and Dong-sik were still investigating Science's case, but they couldn't definitively prove Mr. Sun Jin was responsible, especially since he was terrified of heights. Gawuk, with some hesitation, told Dong-sik about the glasses and the S-lines, but Dong-sik didn't believe him. They quickly hid their unconventional investigation when their superior walked in. Yoon Hup, meanwhile, had taken a part-time job as a receptionist at a hotel. Hyung Jin and Jun Seon came to visit her, and in their cramped office, Hyung Jin cleverly tried to push Yoon Hup and Jun Seon closer, sensing he liked her. The pink-haired woman from before approached the desk and asked for room 206. Hyung Jin, being nosy, peeked at her and said she looked familiar. The woman went to her room and began a monologue, revealing she had had many sexual partners but had met someone she couldn't take her eyes off. Later, Yoon Hup and her friends saw the same woman walking below them. Hyung Jin recognized her as Mayong, even though Jun Seon was unsure. Hyung Jin was right. After leaving the hotel, the pink-haired woman returned to her apartment, took off her pink wig, and was revealed to be Mayong, living a double life. Gawuk, engrossed in his office, was reviewing recent case files, all of which were related to the perplexing S-line phenomenon. He then visited Yoon Hup at the hospital, asking if Sion had an S-line, and, if so, to whom it was connected. Yoon Hup confirmed that she could see a single S-line on Sion, but she didn't know who it led to. She did, however, confirm that it wasn't connected to the boy Sion had been seeing. That night, Yoon Hup watched a news report about a murder where the perpetrator was wearing glasses, which made her recall Gawuk's earlier question about the possibility of multiple pairs of these strange glasses existing. The next day at school, Mayong heard music from the music classroom and found Mr. Park alone. He correctly guessed her acting ambitions and complimented her. Delighted, her smile faded when she saw a single red line on his head, wishing it could connect them instead. After school, Jun Seon, who was becoming closer to Yoon Hup, asked her to go out with him. She agreed, and he took her to a quiet swimming pool. Jun Seon was surprised when she, a non-swimmer, calmly jumped into the pool and submerged herself. Panicked, he jumped in and pulled her out, but she just laughed. After getting out, he gave her his sweater, a gesture that planted the seed of love in Yoon Hup's heart. After they dried off, Yoon Hup confessed to Jun Seon that she could see red lines on people's heads. He, to her surprise, believed her. Their time together brought them much closer. Back at his office, Gawuk admitted to Dong-sik that there was someone he was thinking of, and Gujin's face popped into his head. The next day, Mayong returned to the hotel and asked for room 206 again. While performing room service, Yoon Hup overheard Mayong rehearsing her monologue, this time with new details about her acting ambitions, finding the glasses and seeing S-lines, and about watching a hotel patron through a hole in the wall. Mayong then heard the person in the next room, Mr. Park, come in. Another person, a woman, entered. From their connected S-lines, it was clear she was his partner. Mayong, consumed by jealousy, listened intently to their intimate encounter. After the woman left, Mayong extended her stay. The next day, She attacked the woman, tied her up, and took her clothes to assume her identity. When she entered Mr. Park's room, he was surprised. Mayong began acting maniacally, speaking her monologue in a flirty yet unhinged manner. Mr. Park, loyal to his partner, rejected her and called her crazy. As he walked toward the door, Mayong threw a stapler at him. He collapsed, paralyzed. Mayong dragged him to the bed and kissed him passionately. Blood gushed from his head, and in a disturbing, manic frenzy, she began to hump him. Mr. Park briefly regained consciousness, but was still paralyzed. The S-line on his head vanished, and he died. Devastated, Mayong retreated to the bathtub and began stapling herself repeatedly while repeating her monologue, ending her own life. Yin Hup, doing her usual room service, was shocked to see the woman from the other room, tied and gagged, crawling out of Mayong's room. Yin Hup then found Mr. Park's dead body. Gawok arrived to investigate and found Mayong's body in the bathtub, covered in staples. He asked if anyone found glasses, but Dong Sik said they hadn't. Gawok then went to get Yun Hup's testimony. She explained that Mayong had a single S-line, but it wasn't connected to Mr. Park. She also pointed out Mayong's different behavior at school and the hotel. She stated that Mayong never wore her glasses at the hotel until she was found dead, ominously adding that the glasses would make anyone feel special and powerful. Yun Hup's words echoed in Gawok's mind. He returned to the crime scene and, after draining the bathtub, found the glasses. He put them on, and the truth was undeniably revealed to him. He could see the hundreds of S-lines on everyone, including himself. Now sporting his new glasses, Gawok went back to the office, silently observing everyone's S-lines, discovering a colleague was secretly dating and that his closest friend, Dong Sik, had only 2 S-lines. Dong Sik, noticing Gawok's odd behavior, asked what was wrong. Before Gawok could answer, a high school student with 4 S-lines, Gina, arrived. Dong Sik recognized her from science school. Later that day, Gawok, driven by his gnawing curiosity, dragged a male student from science school, Jaiwan, to the hospital. He wanted to confirm that Jaiwan wasn't the one with the connected S-line to Cyan. After confirming the absence of a connection, Gawok asked if Jaiwan knew Cyan's boyfriend. Jaiwan recalled that Cyan had mentioned someone she despised, giving Gawok a crucial new clue. Meanwhile, Yin Hup, on her phone, received messages from both Jun Cyan and the mysterious unknown number asking to meet her alone before an upcoming party. The next day, Gina, the same student Gawok and Dong Sik had seen, appeared at Yin Hup's school. At the office, Dong Sik told Gawok they had a report of a harassment case from Cyan's high school. They watched as Gina was interrogated. She tearfully explained that a senior student had invited her for a drink. She fainted, and when she woke up, she was unclothed and he was gone. She confirmed it was her first intimate encounter. But Gawok, wearing the glasses, saw 4 lines, a clear sign she was lying. Gawok and Dong Sik went to the school and met with Gujin, who complimented Gawok on his glasses. Gawok asked about the suspect, Han Yu, a former idol trainee. Han Yu admitted to hosting a drinking party but denied proposing it. He seemed unfazed when Gawok told him he was a prime suspect in a sexual harassment case. As they left, Yin Hup spotted them and confronted Gawok, demanding the glasses back, which she now believed were highly dangerous. Gawok refused, insisting they were a vital tool to solve cases. Their heated argument drew the attention of Gujin, who asked what was going on. Gawok, flustered, mumbled that Yin Hup was his neighbor and then awkwardly asked Gujin out to dinner. Gujin then gave an eerie smile, revealing she also possessed the ability to see the S-lines without glasses. Later, at the idol trainee company, Gawok and Dong Sik learned that Gina's true character was far from innocent. She was a bad apple who would lure other trainees into drinking and skipping training. Dong Sik, frustrated by the complexity of the case, suspected either Gina or the company was lying. He then abruptly asked if Gawok had a crush on Gujin, which Gawok vehemently denied. Dong Sik then interrogated Han Yu again, who showed him messages from Gina initiating the meeting and suggesting a drink. In the other room, Gawok interrogated Gina and her mother. Dong Sik then messaged Gawok that he was letting Han Yu leave. Gawok waited for Han Yu and, upon seeing that his S-line was not connected to Gina, knew she was lying. He asked Gina if she had been sexually harassed. and her reluctance to answer solidified his conviction. That evening, Yunhup was waiting for Gawok and confirmed. The glasses were the ones she was looking for. Gawok handed her a photo of her and her mother, explaining that he had looked into her parents' case and told her it wasn't her fault. He asked if she wanted to see her mother, but Yunhup, believing she was dead, expressed reluctance. Gawok countered that there might be a deeper reason, a reason that could be the key to saving someone's life. He then brought up Gina, telling Yunhup about the sexual assault report and how he knew she was lying because of the 4 S lines on her head. But Yunhup denied Gina was lying, stating that a week ago, she hadn't had any S lines. Gawok immediately called Dong-sik, demanding another investigation. They went to Han-Yu's apartment and found it spotless. Han-Yu was a clean freak. He confirmed he had thrown away the empty wine bottle from the incident. Meanwhile, Yunhup returned to the hotel where Mr. Park was murdered. She believed that whoever made the glasses had left them for Gawok to find. As she looked into the mirror, Jun Seon approached her. Having seen her enter the hotel, Yunhup, about to tell him about her strange power, was pulled into a hug by a frightened Jun Seon, who thought there was something on her head. They shared a romantic kiss, and Yunhup asked if he would stay with her even though she was strange. He agreed. The next morning, Gawok and Dong-sik meticulously searched a trash bin near Han-Yu's apartment and found a peculiar plastic bag. Inside was the bedsheet from Han-Yu's bed. Gawok believed it was discarded to remove evidence, but was still confused, since there was no S-line between Gina and Han-Yu. Han-Yu was brought in for another investigation. He calmly explained that he had thrown the sheet away because he was a clean freak and didn't want to use a sheet someone else had slept on. When Dong-sik confronted him about Gina's blood on the sheet, Han-Yu suggested it was from a nosebleed or menstruation. Gawok, finally understanding, stepped in and declared he believed Han-Yu was not the assailant. Han-Yu then revealed that Gina had been persistent about coming to his apartment, and he had finally relented. After the first drink, Gina was completely inebriated and finished the bottle. Han-Yu, being underage, went out to a convenience store to buy more. When he returned, she drank the new beer and promptly fainted. Gawok, suspicious, asked how he was able to buy beer underage. Han-Yu explained the store hadn't checked his ID. Gawok and Dong-sik reviewed the CCTV footage near the apartment. Gawok, remembering Gina had 4 S lines, assumed 4 boys had assaulted her. He saw a group of 4 boys enter the building, and upon leaving, each had an extra S line. He was sure they were the perpetrators. Yunhup also pinpointed the perpetrators, seeing 4 boys from her school with S lines connected to Gina. She called Gawok, but he had already figured it out. The 4 boys were brought in for separate interrogations. Gawok sensed an opportunity to crack the most anxious boy. He took the boy to the crime scene and pretended they already knew everything to loosen his tongue. The boy had a brief chance to escape, but they caught him. Gawok told him his friends had been let go. Believing he had been set up, the boy confessed, revealing all his friends were involved, and that Han-Yu was the mastermind. This was a ruse. The friends were still at the office and had already confessed. Gawok then confronted Han-Yu, presenting a vial of what looked like a sleeping drug. Han-Yu denied using it, but after Gawok revealed he knew about the 4 boys, Han-Yu broke down, and his crime was fully exposed. Later, Gawok, with Yunhup in his car, received a call from his father's nursing home. He dropped Yunhup off and rushed to the home, only to discover his father was missing. CCTV footage showed a woman leading him out, and Gawok was shocked to see it was Gujin, his niece Sion and Yunhup's homeroom teacher. He then received a photo of Sion in her hospital bed and rushed to her room. Sion was there, sleeping, but Gawok saw a single S line on her head leading to the door. To his horror, the line connected to his father. Gawok was in denial, hysterically demanding to know what his father had done to Sion. Meanwhile, Yunhup sat on the stairs, her hands covered in blood, sobbing. She tried to call someone. Elsewhere, a barista received a video of her partner being intimate with another woman. Devastated, she broke down. A college student received the same video, revealing she was the woman in the video, and that someone was blackmailing her. The barista, heartbroken, walked toward incoming traffic, but Gujin pulled her back. Gujin handed her a pair of glasses that allowed her to see the S lines, claiming she found them nearby. It was then revealed that Gujin had been distributing the glasses to people of her choice. After being dropped off by Gawok, Yunhup met with Jun Seon. She had decided to make her first S-line with him at a love hotel. Though he was reluctant, she convinced him, and they had an intimate moment, creating a single S-line between them. Later, as Yoon Hup waited for Jun Seon, she saw the S-line on her reflection, a moment of happiness that was shattered when the line suddenly vanished. A chilling scream followed, and she found Jun Seon impaled by iron rods, his body bleeding on the concrete. The memory of her mother killing her father flooded her mind, and she blamed herself, believing she was cursed. This was why her hands had been bloodied. She received a video of a kidnapped Kyung Jin, her mouth taped shut. She had no one to call but Gawok. After meeting with Gawok, she learned what had happened to Cyan. She revealed that she had been receiving messages connected to the S-line, including the kidnapping video, and suggested this person was responsible for everything. Gawok, remembering Gujin's face from the nursing home CCTV, rushed to the school with Yoon Hup, believing Kyung Jin was being held there. Yoon Hup found Kyung Jin, who revealed she had received a message from Yoon Hup asking her to meet there, which Yoon Hup didn't send. They tried to leave, but found themselves caught in a loop on the same floor. They headed to the rooftop. Meanwhile, Gawok found himself in a dark room, filled with women in identical dresses and a woman with a knife standing over a man on a table. It was the barista, now brainwashed by Gujin, who, after receiving the glasses, had been incited to kill the men connected to her. The man on the table was the last one, and she beheaded him. On the rooftop, Kyung Jin suddenly had a pair of glasses on her face. She revealed she now understood the world. Yoon Hup saw in that Gujin had told her that a person could see the S-lines without glasses if they died, revealing that their homeroom teacher was the mastermind behind the entire phenomenon. Gawok, after witnessing the horrifying scene, finally saw Gujin. This time, she was covered in hundreds of slines, far more than him. She revealed another person on the table, his father, tied up. She offered Gawok a knife to kill his father to save Cyan, but he hesitated and lunged at Gujin instead. However, she was no match for her. Gawok was no match for her immense strength. She effortlessly tossed him aside and killed his father herself. Gawok, shaken, told Gujin to drop the knife, but she refused and advanced toward him. He drew his gun, but the bullet deflected off her. She choked him, holding him effortlessly in the air. Meanwhile, Yoon Hup fought for her life against Kyung Jin, who was choking her. Realizing the glasses were making Kyung Jin act this way, she ripped them off and crushed them underfoot. Kyung Jin screamed, but then snapped back to her senses, confused. She noticed a fresh scratch on Yoon Hup's face and saw her eyes change color. Blood from the wound floated in the air, and Yoon Hup found herself in the same room as Gawok and Gujin. Yoon Hup confronted Gujin, but Gujin claimed it was a blessing, not a curse, and that Yoon Hup was born with this power for this very day, to bring it to its ultimate peak. She revealed she was born from the desire of a human who wanted to see people's deepest secrets. She advanced on Yoon Hup with a knife, but at the last second, Yoon Hup's mother jumped in front of her, taking the blade. As she died, she apologized for coming too late and for letting Yoon Hup blame herself for her father's death. Enraged, Yoon Hup lashed out at Gujin, but Gujin stabbed her. Yoon Hup's blood floated upwards, and Gujin's true power awakened. The ability to give everyone on Earth the power to see the S-lines. Just as Gujin thought she had won, Yoon Hup, still alive, snatched the knife and plunged it into Gujin's stomach. Gujin, with a chilling smile, declared it was too late. As Gujin died, the people in the room ran in a panic. Yoon Hup and Gawok found themselves back on the rooftop with Kyung Jin. The world was in chaos as everyone could now see the S-lines. The sky had turned red, and the damage was done. A year later, the world had calmed down, and people had adjusted to living with the S-lines. Yoon Hup had become normal as everyone now shared her ability. Cyan had recovered and her relationship with Gawok had improved. One day, Yoon Hup was visiting Jun Seon's grave when Gujin suddenly appeared behind her.